Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing another speed build in The Sims 3 and I really love this house. It is super cute, probably one of my favourites to date. It is a 3-bedroomed, 1.5 bathroomed home, but there is an office on the ground floor of the house that you could change into a 4th bedroom if you need it. And there's also a small laundry room at the top of the stairs that you could switch up into another half bath if you need that as well. Something a little bit different. I wanted to try and improve on my kind of modern style. If you watched my Highfield build, you'll have seen that the kind of style that I went with for that home was a bit more modern. So I wanted to kind of develop on that and try like a full house of that kind of style, if that makes sense. The Highfield build was a bit more of like a traditional home, whereas this is slightly more modern throughout, from the outside right through to the inside. Maybe a house that had been built previously but the owners had renovated it or something like that. Not entirely modern, but yeah, I really enjoyed doing this build, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So we're just getting in the roofing at the moment, and it's really simple roofing on this house, so it didn't take me long at all. I didn't join the struggle bus for this one like I did in the last build, and we're just getting in the blackouts there that I like to do for the areas that your Sims can't go. And then we are on to the outside, and you will see coming up very shortly when I go to place the stairs. I'm just going to pop the siding on the house right now, but you'll see here I put a wall around the house and then place my stairs, and a lot of people ask me about that in my DMs, and it's actually part of the CFE cheat. And you'll see here on the screen just now that the side of the stairs has the same kind of pattern on it that the wooden foundation has. So basically what you do when you put the wall around the stairs like that with the CFE cheat activated, you're tricking the game into thinking you're placing a staircase inside a house. So it generates that wall like you would find on an interior staircase, just so that you don't have a gap underneath the stairs there. I especially like doing that for the front of houses. I don't always do it, but I think it's a nice touch sometimes for the front of houses. But I did think of putting out a CFE tutorial video for you guys if that's something you'd be interested in. So please let me know in the comments if that is something you'd like to see, and I will get that done for you guys. So we're just putting in the windows now, and these windows that I've picked for this house, they are custom content, but I absolutely love them because they already have blinds like built into the windows. So your windows kind of look dressed already without even having to hang curtains or anything, and especially they look good from the outside as well, which is always a plus. So yeah, I'm really digging the windows there. They are, like I said, they are custom content. They should come with the build, but as always everything will be linked separately in a text file so that you can download the CC separately if you want to, or if you just want specific parts of it, you know where to find it. And yeah, we're just doing the siding for the house now, and I picked a three color, whatever you want to call it, kind of siding for this. So we've got a stone siding, we've got a wooden siding, and then we just go for a plain stucco siding, obviously to hide that diagonal wall there on the garage with the CFE walls. So we're just getting in the wood now, and then we will move on to the stucco, and then I go around and just even things out, make sure every area is covered, and then edit a couple of bits at the back. I brought the wood further down the back of the house rather than just leaving it the stucco like I was going to do. So there's the stucco going on the front, and I picked a kind of sort of beigey, almost really light grey colour. I wanted to go for kind of like black, white, grey, sort of neutral tones for this house, and just to kind of keep in with that whole modern kind of vibe that I had going in my last build, my last family home build. So yeah, Here we are picking out a roof, and I went through every colour of roof I have in my game twice before I settle on the roof that we eventually go with. I just couldn't find one that I thought went with the colour scheme really well, but we end up picking out a really nice dark grey, almost looks black. So yeah, it's really nice. It kind of fits really well. There's no white trim on this one, it is just plain, and I just thought that that looked the best out of all the options that we had in game. And now we're just recolouring the stairs there, and then I finish off, there's some wall covering that I missed behind the door, so we go and fix that in a sec, getting in a column there to look as though it's supporting that little overhang roof. And yeah, after that we move on to the terrain paints, I think. There we go, just moving that door out of the way, and I end up recolouring the door as well because it wasn't actually black. I wanted it to be black, but it was more dark brown. So I know you guys would have probably not cared or noticed, but I knew it wasn't right, so I had to change it. And now we're doing the terrain paints there. So I just went for a super basic sort of sidewalk terrain paint kind of thing there, and now I'm just putting in a planter. The landscaping for this house is very minimal. I'm quite enjoying the whole minimalistic sort of modern vibe for landscaping at the moment. So we just go with a few box hedges, a couple of trees, nothing too crazy, and we pretty much call it a day with that, but it looks really good for the screenshots, I think. I don't know about you guys, but on the very, very rare occasion that I do play, like actual gameplay, I find trees get in the way sometimes. Like, I don't know, it's just me, maybe, I don't know, but I tend to hate having trees in front of the house, but for pictures they look really, really good. So yeah, tell me in the comments if I'm the only one that does that or if it is like a normal thing, because I'd really love to know. And now we're just picking out a floor for the little vestibule area, and I go with a kind of brick, I think it's actually a masonry pattern that came with the game. It's kind of like a herringbone brick pattern that looks really nice. Something a little bit different to the wood that I normally use. And now we're just filling in the rest of the windows around the back of the house and getting in a back door there, and some stairs to get off the decking, which in hindsight is kind of pointless. Well, not pointless, but you'll see in a second when I come to do the fencing around the back. The fencing that I chose for this house, I couldn't find the gate that matches in my game. I think I must have deleted it by accident. I was sorting out my custom content just the other day, so I think I maybe deleted it by mistake, but I ended up going with no gate because the one I did find that kind of closely matched the fence I used, it just still didn't look right, so I just deleted it. So even though they can come off the deck, there's nowhere else for them to go. So yeah, you will have to add in a gate or change up the fence or whatever if you want to have access to the back garden from the deck there. Otherwise they can just come through the house as normal to get outside. But here's me putting in the gate that I spoke about just a second ago, and it just wouldn't colour match correctly and it just looked a bit out of place, so I just thought to avoid it completely. I'll have to go hunting for that gate now and put it back in my game, because that's like one of my favourite fences, so I don't know why I would have deleted the gate to go with it, but never mind. We're just putting in some landscaping bits now, and like I said, it's really minimal. This is pretty much all we go with, just to kind of fill out the area a little bit, and then we are off to start the inside. And we start in the kitchen, I believe. We're popping in the doors just now, but once we get into the kitchen, you will see that I use the cabinets from Late Night, I believe. They are really cute, but I kind of wish I'd done them a different colour. They are white, but I kind of feel like once I got to the screenshots and I was looking back at everything, I kind of wish I'd done them black. So you guys might want to change up the colour if you agree. I could have went back and changed them, but I just didn't. I left them as they were, but you guys can change them and mix them up a bit if you want. And just put in a fake chimney there. I don't know if it's just me or if you guys do this as well, but when I place a fireplace in game, I really hate the fact that we can't recolor the chimneys. I know we do have like a decorative one that we can swap out, and that is semi-recolorable, I think, but I don't know, it seems silly to me that we can't recolor the chimneys, so I always delete them and build a fake one if I want one, and I just think that looks so much better than the ones that we have in game. But yeah, here's my debug lighting that you all know I'm addicted to, and I think we've figured out the floor plan now, so once we get in the lighting, I go around and recolor the doors and pop in some flooring and the wall coverings. The wall coverings for this house are the same throughout. I didn't change them for each room because I wanted to keep that kind of like flow, that kind of modern, almost new house kind of feeling. And when you move into a brand new house, I don't know about like where you guys are from, but here typically your house is painted one colour, usually like a kind of cream or white or some other neutral colour, and then once you move in you kind of sort it to how you want. But it's kind of like almost not fashionable, I don't know what the word is when you're talking about interior design, but a lot of people just leave it those kind of neutral colours. That's quite in just now, if you like. So here we are onto the flooring, and I go with a kind of like ashy brown grey coloured wood flooring for this build, and again it's the same throughout. I don't change it in any of the other rooms, and I think it looks really good. I normally leave all the woodwork and the doors white, but because the windows and the front door were black, I decided to change the interior doors and fittings, like the archways, to black as well, and I think that looks really good. It's not something I've done before. Like I say, I normally keep everything white, but once I changed them up I thought it looked really, really good, so I make them all black, and I was quite surprised at actually how much I liked it, so it was a pleasant surprise. And then we're just finishing off the flooring and the wall coverings upstairs, changing the half wall banister there as well. And now I think, oh yeah, I had a bit of trouble with that one for some reason. Now we're going to start on the kitchen, and you will see what I mean. I mean, the white cabinets, they look good, but I wish I'd changed them to black. I don't know why. I think it maybe just would have looked a little bit better, but never mind. I think it still looks nice. I just had a kind of, not deja vu. What's the word when you're kind of hindsight? Hindsight, that's the word I'm looking for. So yeah, I really like how this kitchen turned out actually, despite the cabinet colour, but it is kind of similar to the kitchen in Highfield. It's not completely dissimilar, but I think I maybe still prefer the kitchen in Highfield, to be honest. You can let me know what you guys think in the comments, but I think Highfield's kitchen is a bit nicer. But yeah, we're just getting in all the fixtures and everything. I struggled to find a combo for the stove and the fridge that I liked, but I ended up going with these ones that are down just now. I don't know what it was, I just couldn't put my finger on what I wanted, kind of, so it took me a minute to kind of decide, but we got there in the end. And now I'm just struggling to put that cupboard above the fridge there, and then recolouring everything to match. And then I put in a nice little shelf there as well, and a bin. I love putting a little shelf above the stove tops now. And here is my butcher's block. I absolutely love this little thing. I don't actually know if your Sims can use it like a normal worktop and actually cook on it or whatever, but I just put some decorative items on it because I don't actually think they can use it. But let me know actually if you do download this house and you decide to try. Let me know if you can use it. I should really play test these things, but I'm a bit lazy in that respect, so I'm sorry. And then we're just recolouring and moving around some objects. There's my OMSP sticks again. A few of you had questions about them last time. I will try and find the exact ones I use, but there are plenty of different kinds out there, and I will leave a link to something. If not the same one, I will leave a link to similar ones for you guys in the description. And then we're just getting in a couple of other clutter items. I thought about putting down this dish rack, but after trying fiddling around with it a few times, I just took it away because I wasn't feeling it. And I put down one that looks like a tea towel with some plates lying on it, and then it is just now on the floor. I put that one in instead, and I think that actually looks a little bit better, so we go with that and just recolor that to match the kitchen colour scheme there. And then we pop down the food bowl there and the water bowl. I'm really good at doing this, like decorating for pets and then not actually putting in the rest of the stuff for pets. So yeah, I did that in my Pacer Place renovation, not reservation. I did that there. I put down decorative items for a dog and then forgot to put in like actual stuff for the dog. Kind of the same deal in this house. I put down the food bowls there and then forgot to put in anything else remotely relevant to an animal, so yeah, sorry about that. But now we're on to the dining room, and I absolutely love this dining room table. I don't know why I've never used it before, but it's from Seasons, and I just found it, like, I've had Seasons since Seasons came out, and I just found it in my game now. So it's my new favourite table, so you'll probably see it in like every single one of my builds from now on. But I really love this table. I don't leave it this colour. I do change up the colours, and I change up the chairs in a sec as well. And I'm really actually happy with how this dining room turned out. It's probably my favourite room of the house, to be honest, and once it's all done up. So I tried a few different kinds of chairs, but none of them kind of seemed to tickle my fancy, so to speak. So we ended up going with these, and I recolour them with like a kind of suede texture and make them like a really dark grey, as you'll see, and then we change the table to black, and it looks so good. I really love how that came out. And now we're just going through the 8 million curtain options I have in my game, and we do end up going back to those orange curtains that you saw there. I pulled them out initially and thought, oh god, they're orange, no, I don't want them. And then recolored them and they looked fine. So there's a top tip for you guys. If you pull something out of your menu and you think it's horrible, try and recolor it and see, because you'll be surprised at how many things I've pulled out in game over the years and thought it was absolutely disgusting and like so ugly, and then I recolored it and it's actually really nice. So give it a try, see if you can pull out some new things. Just getting a rug there. I wanted to use this plant here, but I just felt it was a bit too big, and to stop it clipping through the wall I had to pull it quite far into the room. So we go with this kind of vase with sticks in, and I thought that actually fit a little bit better, to be honest, so I was quite pleased with that. And then we just pop in a sideboard underneath the window there, and I go through a couple of different options, but this one here is the one we pick out, and I think it looks really good actually. It reminds me of one of those like really old-fashioned post office bureau things. I don't know if that's the right word for them, but that's what it kind of reminded me of. So it was almost kind of like modern but like old-fashioned at the same time, if that's even a thing. Yeah, so how have you guys been doing? Anything crazy happening? Anything special happening? What are you guys up to? I know parts of the UK are back in lockdown here, so there's not very much that we're actually allowed to do right now. But what's it like where you are? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to know. I'd love to hear about other places, what's going on in the world, all that kind of stuff. And now you're going to watch me struggle trying to find the tiny little square pictures that came with the base game. I don't know why it took me like ages to find these, because like they're like base game. But yeah, we got there in the end, and I popped them just above here. I think it looks quite cute because I pulled out a few things, but they just didn't seem to fit right. So yeah, I thought these looked pretty cute. I didn't really use them much beforehand, but I've actually started using them a lot recently, so pretty pleased with that. And now I do fiddle around and try and put a little unit there underneath that window, but I thought it was just a bit too much. So I pull it away, put it away, delete it, get rid of it, and we move on to the living room. Now, I'm going to tell you about this living room. The cushions I pick for this sofa, you're either going to love them or hate them, and I still can't decide, to be honest, if I love them or hate them. You'll see what I mean in just a sec, but I think it's going to be a 50-50 split. I think you're either going to love them or hate them. The living room in this house is a bit smaller than I'd have liked it to have been. It could have done with being a bit bigger. I only realised when I tried to place this footstool to go with the armchair that there wasn't actually as much space as I thought. So we get rid of the footstool and we just put in a coffee table instead, and then a TV above the fireplace. But I do like how this living room turned out. Like I say, I could have just done with being a little bit bigger. So there isn't much room for a lot of Sims in here, but I mean you could switch up the layout of the room and have different sofas and whatnot. You know, you could make it fit more Sims if you wanted to, but certainly the way I have it laid out at the moment, it's not the biggest space, but I think it's cozy and it's kind of cute, so I was quite happy with it. And just recolouring the fireplace there. I went with a kind of like dark grey black colour for that too, and then we actually go for light sofas, and I normally do it the other way around. I normally have my fireplace light and then my sofas dark, but I thought for this I'd do it a little bit different. And here come the cushions. Like, I still don't know, even watching this back now, I'm kind of like, oh, do I like it, do I not like it? It kind of reminds me of zebra print, but it's obviously not zebra print, so I really don't know. Yeah, I still can't quite decide. I think the colours go with the colour scheme of the house, and I think it kind of ties in with the sort of geometrical pattern on the rug in the dining room. So, I mean, it's not completely like random. It does kind of tie in, but I think it's maybe just a bold pattern, and because I've never used it before and it's not something I normally use, I'm a bit like, oh. So we're just finishing up the wall decor in here, and then getting in a couple of little trinkets. And there isn't really much to this living room. I kept it quite simple, quite plain, but that's the kind of thing I wanted to go with this house. It's furnished, but there's still room to add your own touch to it if you want to download it for your game. And please guys, if you do download this house and you do use it in your game, I would so love to see your screenshots and your pictures and things like that. So if you do download the game, the house for your game, please tag me on Instagram or Facebook. I'll have all my links down in the description. I would really love to see what you guys do with the house, even if you completely change it up, if you renovate it yourself, or you know, if you have a YouTube channel and you want to renovate my houses on there, go for it. Like, I would love to see what you guys can do, because I'm sure you guys will be so much more creative than I could ever hope to be. So I would really love to see what you guys do with them. And yeah, now we're on to the little half bath here at the bottom of the stairs. It's nothing crazy, just a sink and a toilet, but it took me way longer than it should have because I spent about half an hour looking for a rug that I don't even have in my game. So there you go. I think, like I said earlier, I rejigged some of my CC, so I think I must have deleted it by mistake and spent ages looking for it, but I think the rug that I pick out actually looks better than the one I was trying to find anyway, so it's a winner, doesn't matter. Get there in the end. And I have since put said rug back in my game, so we're all good. We're all good on that. But yeah, took way longer than it should have, so sorry about that. And now we're on to the little office room. And this is the room that I said at the beginning could be turned into a fourth bedroom if you want. It's not the biggest, but you could fit a single bed in here. You could probably fit a double bed at a push, but you wouldn't have much room for anything else, but you could make it happen if you needed it to. And I just like to give the Sims, I say give my Sims, but I don't play the game, but I like to have like a separate room for them that they can study in, or they can work in, or you know, do some sort of activity like painting or something like that, that's away from the rest of the house. I don't know, I think I would like to have that kind of space in real life, but because I don't, I kind of live vicariously through The Sims and add one in. But now we're on to the hallway, and it is super simple decor in the hallway, nothing crazy at all, just a mirror and a couple of rugs, and I used the same vase from the living room to put there in the corner just to fill it out a little bit. But I didn't go too crazy because it is a kind of small, narrow hallway. I didn't want to put too much stuff in it and clutter it up too much that you would end up with your Sims kind of like waving at you like you're stupid when they can't get past something, even though like they should totally be able to, but we won't even go down that rabbit hole. And now we're on to the upstairs, and I absolutely love this bathroom, guys. It's nothing crazy special, but I just love like the way the shower fits into this little bit here. Like you'll see, it just fits so perfectly into that little bump out there. It is quite like a narrow bathroom, but I think it really works. It looks really good. There is obviously no bath, so you could fit a bathtub in there if you prefer to have one of those in your house, but I thought this shower just fit perfectly. And I'm really, as far as bathrooms go, I'm like super stoked about this one. But it's simple, really simple, nothing much happening in there. You've got all your usual bathroom stuff, nothing crazy. I think I spent ages looking for that same rug as I did downstairs, but again couldn't find it because it wasn't there. So we just go with the, I think it's base game, the L7 rug that came with base game, and recolor that to match. I think we just go with a kind of like light grey colour for that, and it looks really good actually. Probably again better than the one I was going to use, so it's all good. And now we're just recoloring the last couple of bits in the bathroom, and I think I completely forgot to recolor the medicine cabinet above the sink. I did, didn't I? Of course I did. So now we're on to the master bedroom, and like I said, this is the only bedroom that I decorate. I left the other two for you guys to do what you want with them, whether you want to have them as a teen bedroom, a kid's bedroom, a nursery, another adult's bedroom, whatever you want. I just left them as blank spaces for you to decorate as you wish. They don't even have to be the bedrooms, they could be whatever you want them to be. Anything. Another office, another laundry room, whatever. I will say that actually, while I'm on the subject of laundry room, the small room that I picked out to be the laundry room in this house is very small, so I'm not actually sure if your Sims will be able to go in there and use the machines. It's a 2x2, so I know they can go in there to use the toilet if it's a bathroom, but for washing machines and tumble dryers, I'm not sure how that works. So you may find that they will do the whole stampy, wavy thing, and you might need to take the washer dryer out. If that's the case, you can always pop those in the garage. I completely forgot there was a garage on this house. You will see I rushed back to it at the very last minute and decorate it. Well, I say decorate it, I put some wall coverings and flooring down, but that is literally all. So there is plenty of space in there should you need it to put the washing set in there. And like I said, you can always use that space at the top of the stairs for another half bath. I know Sims can use 2x2 spaces for a small bathroom, so if they can't use it as the laundry room, they will definitely be able to use that as a half bath. Right now we're just recoloring everything in the bedroom and getting in some more little knickknacks, like a little plant there on the floor, which is super cute. And then I just recolored this alarm clock and the lamp there on the side, and then I fish out a rug, I think, for the underneath the bed. And it's a rug I've had in my game for like so long but never used. Don't you love those things that you find in your game after years of having them that you've never used, and you're like, oh, I'm going to use this. I do that on the daily. So yeah, we go with that kind of black, white and grey rug. And then we just pop another little circle rug here at the top of the stairs as well. And I think this is where you'll see me realise in just a second after I pop down the washer and dryer that I completely forgot about the garage and it's still empty. We go back and put in the same terrain paint that we used on the outside, and then I couldn't figure out why that wall had kind of misshapen, but it was when I put down the floor tile to guide me around when I was doing the initial terrain paint, it kind of deformed the wall a bit, but I couldn't put it back down, like level it, because I turned CFE off. So I struggled with that for a minute or two, and then I finally figured it out, and we get to here, and then I just recolour this wall covering to like a grey colour to match the terrain paint on the floor, and then we pop in a parking space, and that's pretty much it. Now just recolouring the last couple of bits and pieces and getting in a little bit of landscaping in the back garden. I don't do too much for this at all, just a tree and a couple of bushes, and that's about it really. So I'm going to leave you guys here with some screenshots. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!